What is up, guys? It's Fox and I'm back with the last part 4 of What If Deku Was Bloodsport. I'll get straight on with it. Now, last part, we left off as a strange man walked into the room, saying, "I am here." You might have already guessed who it is, but, Deku's like, "All Might, what the hell are you doing here?" And that's when All Might sees Deku in his suit, and he's like, it's you. You're the one who put me in the ICU." And Deku's like, yeah, good to see you, All Might. And that's when something unexpected happened. All Might literally appeared right next to Deku and started like fanboying over him. He's like, "Oh my god, I am, like, despite what everyone says, I am such a huge fan. Like, you are your age and you managed to injure me that badly with just a bullet. Your quirk is amazing. This is like an actual dream of mine to meet you. Thank you for, injuring me. It brought me to light of all the issues I had. It turns out I had a stomach failure. Turns out I had a very bad diet. Turns out my legs were broken. I didn't even see it for like 2 months. Thank you. Thank you so much." And Deku's like, no problem. And in his head he's like, "I was trying to kill you, so you shouldn't be really thanking me." But they keep on having this awkward conversation, and that's when Candace Dickinson stepped in and said, "Gentlemen, I think it's time for me to explain your new mission." And All Might immediately gets serious, and he's like, "Yes, Miss Dickinson, I shall assist you with that. Alright, Task Force X, let me tell you a bit about All For One." And Deku's like, "All For One? I know that name." And All Might's like, "Oh, and what do you know about him?" And Deku's like, he was the one who hired me to kill you. That's when I shot you in the lungs." And Deku and All Might is like, I see. Very interesting." But, he continues on with about who All For One is, the story of All For One. And, in this alternative universe, All Might does not have a successor yet. He just hasn't chosen one yet. And Deku's like, "All Might, that's good and all, but you do realize I can help you with that injury." And All Might is like, "How?" And Deku's like, "Well, my quirk can be used not only for creating weapons and, armor for myself, I can also create weapons and armor for others. So I can, like, inject you with some of my nanotech and they'll fix your lungs. But it's not going to be 100% fix. It's more of like a support item, which will help you fight a lot more, but it's still going to have its limit." And All Might is like, "Whatever it takes to beat All For One, it's good. And I trust you, Bloodsport. Please don't do anything stupid." And, Deku's like, "Yeah, I am." And, Deku's like, "Alright, before I do the procedure, is Task Force X and All Might the only ones who are gonna go to this mission?" He asked that to Candace, and Candace then says, "No. The heroes, the team will consist of All Might as the leader in general, and then Endeavor, Midnight, Genist, Best Genist, Aizawa, Eraserhead, Hawks, Kamui Woods, and Cementos will all assist you, along with Task Force X. And by Task Force X, I mean the gang as well as Eggman. He's still alive. He's the G." So Deku's like, "Okay, I got a pretty good idea of how we can like do this without many casualties, or as many casualties." And he says that after he's finished like the procedure with All Might, and all the heroes and Task Force X are in a room. And Endeavor's like, "What could a villain like you come up with?" And Deku's like, "Well, watch your mouth. Second of all, using my nanotech, I can give you all protective gear similar to mine. Fireproof, shock absorbent, waterproof, electric proof, it's not conductive. It's very good, very durable, helps with agility, boosts your strength, night vision, x-ray vision. Pretty cool stuff, but I guess you, Endeavor, don't really want that." That's when Endeavor like gulped, and he's like, I take it back." And by the way, I forgot to mention that Todoroki is like Colonel Rick Flag. here. So he's also present. And that's when Endeavor sees Todoroki and he's like, Dickinson, what the hell is my son doing here? And, you know, Candace then says, well, he's the leader of Task Force X. And, you know, Endeavor's like, you put my son, you put that disappointment in charge of villains? That's what he's only suited for. Young Shota is much more promising than you, Shoto. And, you know, Todoroki then, you know, clenches his fist. And, you know, Deku then says, alright, that's enough. Endeavor, you won't be getting the armor because I don't feel like giving you the armor. And so Endeavor's like, oh, come on. But yeah, he won't not receive the armor because he's stupid. So, all the rest receive like Bloodsport similar armor, but with their color schemes. Like Midnight receives like a black and like a black, dark blue and white armor. Best Jeanist receives like a jean armor. Aizawa just receives black armor. Kamui Boots like a, yeah, you get it. And all the rest of the team got like armor as well. And even Nanaue got armor. His looks like the Hulkbuster armor from Iron Man. And, you know, so they all get on a giant helicopter. And, you know, they fly to the location. And it's actually an underground system. A train system. It's like a train tunnel that goes underground. That's where the villain hideout is. And you might be asking how they found that. I think I explained it in the last part. And, yeah, they found that in the ruins of the little Meta Liberation Army thing that happened. So it seems like the Meta Liberation Army were talking with the legal villains, and they were pretty close since they had the location of the base. And, you know, the whole gang gets out of the helicopter, and you know, everyone starts walking towards the underground tunnel, and that's when Deku pulls you know, Lady Nagan, basically the whole Task Force X aside, and he's like, all right guys, this is serious, please try not to die. I mean, yeah. And, you know, they have a little moment with Nagan, you know, I'm not gonna describe it. Hormones didn't fully kick in, they're not gonna do it right there, you know. And you know, same with Bakugo and Uraraka, and Nanaue is kind of feeling left out, as well as Eggman. But that's when, you know, Deku and Bakugo finish with the women, and they go hug Nanaue and Eggman. And you know, Deku says, "Nanaue, you stay tough, my brother." And Nanaue is like, "I will nom the villains." And Deku's like, "Yeah, that's right, Nanaue. He'll nom the villains. Try not to die there." Same goes for you, Eggman. You know, they all wish each other good luck, and they follow the rest of the heroes into the underground base. Now, All Might is the leader, so there's going to be a lot of crushing and breaking. So All Might just literally jumps up in the air and breaks straight through the ceiling of the base. And, you know, he falls down, and first thing he sees is Dr. Ujiko, the League of Villains, a bunch of other small villains, all for one, and a bunch of tubes full of Nomu. And, you know, All for One is like, what the hell? Why the hell is All Might here? Oh shit, don't tell me the Meta Liberation Army fell. It's the only way they could have found out their base location. God damn it. We're gonna have to fight All Might, I guess. But it won't be such a hard task after your injury. I'll beat you easily. So that's when the other pro heroes jump down, and, you know, they immediately go to fight other small villains, like the thugs. Todoroki jumps down and he sees Dabi, and he doesn't know it's Toya Todoroki, but, you know, Todoroki goes to fight Dabi. And you know, Eggman, he jumps down, he goes to fight Spinner. And Nagant, she jumps down, she's gonna fight twice. Uraraka jumps down, she's gonna be fighting Toga. Bakugo is gonna be fighting Mr. Compress. And Deku is gonna be fighting Shigaraki, Kurogiri, and Nomus together. So you know, when Shigaraki sees Deku, he's like, "Ah, it's the failed assassin Bloodsport who failed to complete a mission given by my master. I've heard of you. You won't be such a hard thing to defeat after you've rotten in prison for so long. It'll be easy. Kurogiri, you're up." That's when Kurogiri teleports Shigaraki behind Deku, and you know, Shigaraki almost touches Deku with all 5 fingers, but Deku just quickly turned around and just chopped his hands off with the katana, and you know, Shigaraki's out for the count. Like, that's it. And you know, Kurogiri's like, "No, Master Shigaraki." That's when Deku pulls out a gun and just literally shoots at Kurogiri and like at his metal thing. And this is like a zapper, and Kurogiri's thing is conductive, so yeah, Kurogiri just gets zapped. That's when like 5 Nomus go, you know, surround Deku. And Deku, what you might imagine, what the hell will Deku do now? I'll tell you what Deku will do. Deku literally creates a minigun that fires extra piercing bullets, and he just starts spinning around like a ballerina, shooting the Nomus. Like, if he gets headshots on every single shot. Like, this man cannot miss. He is the peak of coolness. Like, I know storytelling can't really, you know, show all the coolness that's happening right now, but if this was like animated, imagine if my series gets animated, that would be so cool. But if this was animated, this would be like the coolest scene in the whole entire series, maybe. Yeah. And so the Nomus just are down. You know, Bakugo defeats Mr. Compress and actually kills him. Shigaraki's dead from blood loss. Nomus are dead, and you know, Suicide, the Task Force X, they're not heroes, so they literally just kill. So Mr. Compress is dead. Toga is dead. She got like, she basically got anti-gravity used on her, and Uraraka just jumped up and like twisted her neck. And unfortunately, Eggman dies by the hands of Spinner because eggs were ineffective. But Nagan, who just killed twice, the original twice, literally just aimed her rifle at Spinner's brains and blew them out. No. God damn it. You get it. She shot him in the head. And you know, Todoroki managed to defeat Dabi because, you know, Todoroki's much stronger here with his ice because he's older and he's had more time to train, because, you know, they're all, no, actually no, they're not all older. Oh no, they are. But I'm just gonna say that Todoroki's a lot stronger here. And from the talk with Deku, he does use his fire a bit to, you know, not get frostbite. So Dabi just can't burn all that ice. So Dabi just gets frozen with such ice that, you know, just can't be melted. So basically, oh, and I forgot, Nanaue went down and started fighting Muscular. And Muscular, yeah, he died. You cannot beat King Shark. Like, Nanaue is undefeatable. The pro heroes arrest all the other villains. And, you know, Deku sees All Might. Deku sees All Might and All For One fighting. And he sees that both of them are tired. But then, you know, All For One appears behind All Might and actually in front of All Might and gut punches him. Then Deku's like, oh no, the support gear I made is gonna break. Shit, I'm gotta go help All Might. So Deku's running and running and running, but he can't make it in time. You know, All For One is starting to create his little red tentacles, and he's about to pierce All Might's head, but that's when his head falls off. Yeah. Yep, his head fell off. Deku got a sudden boost of energy. You might be wondering why. I'll tell you why. Aizawa jumped and literally... He kicked Deku in the air towards All For One. And you know, Deku realized what was happening, and so he just created a katana and just literally Levi'd the living crap out of All For One. So All For One was so tired that he didn't notice anything else. His one goal was to kill All Might, and he failed. And yeah, now All For One is dead. And you know, Deku saves All Might. And you know, Deku is like, okay, All For One has a lot of quirks, so he might have a regeneration quirk. So Deku's like, I don't know what I do. So he just creates a flamethrower and just literally burns the skull burns the head of All For One. And this kills All For One forever. Shigaraki's dead, so yeah. And let me talk about the aftermath. Well, I already talked about the aftermath. Dabi is arrested, and Kurogiri is arrested. Unfortunately, Eggman dies. The rest of the League of Villains dies. All the villains get arrested. All For One dies. Yeah. So now we cut to 3 weeks later in Tartarus. We see a little hamster, a white mouse actually. All Might, Aizawa, and Candace are talking with Task Force X in a room. And so Nezu's like, so, do you want to become heroes? And, you know, Deku's like, hell no. Nagan says no. Uraraka says, yeah. Bakugo says, yeah. And Nanaue says, yeah. You know, Nanaue doesn't know what to say, but Deku's like, Nanaue, you want to become a hero, trust me. You'll get a lot of new friends. And, Nanaue's like, friends, yes. So, yeah. And, Nanaue's like, alright, those of you who wanted to become heroes, you can join UA, and you can live freely. I've seen your crimes, and I've reviewed your past, and it seems that all of you had a really good had a good reason to do what you did. And, very heroic. So, you will go to UA. Now the rest of you who don't want to be heroes, you're gonna be set free. But the only condition is that if the Hero Society or the Hero Safety Commission require your help once in a while on like a dangerous mission, you will be obligated to take it. And so Deku thinks about this, looks at Nagan, and you know, she's like, that's fair. How often will these missions come in? And you know, Nezu's like, oh, it can vary. It like the most is like once a month, and the least is like maybe once in 2 years. Like these types of missions don't come very often, you know. And so, you know, Deku and Nagan smile, and you know, they're set free, and you know, they part with the rest of Task Force X. You know, they all wish each other good luck, and you know, they're still friends, but you know, they just take in different paths. You know, Deku and Nagan just want like a peaceful life without any hero work, and you know, so yeah. And my friends, we cut to 2 days later in their new apartment. The hormones kick in, and yeah, 9 months later, we get a bunch of children. Yeah, I don't know why I just did that, but yeah. Alright, anyone, this is the end of What If Deku Was Bloodsport. I hope you enjoyed the series. It's not getting as many views as my videos usually get, but I really enjoyed making this, and I hope you enjoyed it as well if you're watching this. Thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, night, or whatever.